Welcome back. This is part 2 of the VM installation for the Windows Server 2016. I have shut down or turned off my server. So let me start my server back on. Click on the server. Click on Start. Right click on that. Click on Connect. Now I'm connecting to my Windows Server. It's booting up right now. And it prompts for me to size the screen display. I'm just go ahead and leave the way it is. Click on Connect, and it prompts for me to type in the administrator password. During the installation of your Windows Server 2016, it prompts for you to enter a password for the administrator. Make sure you write down that password. Okay, because if you happen to forget that password or the administrator password, there's no way that we can recover your server. So you basically, it's done with the server. You can't get back to the server anymore. So please make sure you remember the administrator password. Okay, all right, let's get to my server. All right, now when you log in or when you start your server for the first time or every time, it will always launch your server manager, and this is where we are going to learn throughout the whole classes. Alright, let's minimize this server manager, and I wanted to verify if this server is connected to my network. Look at the network icon. It has an X on that, meaning that this server is not connected to my network, so it cannot get to the internet. Now I just want to verify that. I can go into the command prompt, type in cmd, type ipconfig /all, press enter, and there's no IP address in here, so it is not part of my network. It does not connect to my network. The problem was that during the installation, I happened to pick up the wrong virtual switches. Remember? So how do we change that? Right click on the server, click on setting, and click on network adapter. Notice that earlier when I installed this server, I pick up the new virtual switches as my virtual switches, and there are 3 of them in here. So which one is correct? Well, one way to find out is to go to the control panel of the host, that is my Windows 10. Okay, that we call it the host. Alright, so go to the network and share center, change the adapter setting, and notice that these 2 right here are the virtual switches or virtual NIC hall on my Windows 10 or the host, and this one is marked with an X, meaning that there's no network connection. So the one that I should use is default switches. This is the virtual switch that is actually connected to my Wi-Fi and get to the internet. So I need to change my server virtual switch to use this one right here. So go to the Hyper-V manager, right click on the server, click on settings, and click on network adapter, and click on the drop down box, click on default switches. By the way, when you do this, you should turn this server off before making this change, but in here it's okay. I just want to go ahead and go through with it. So use the default switches, click on apply, click on OK. Now if I go to my Windows Server, guess what? It is now connected to the internet, or it is part of my network. The X is gone in here. And if I go to the command prompt, ipconfig /all, it has indeed assigned an IP address to the server. There you go. That's an IP address for this server. This is the subnet mask. That is the default gateway and DNSCP server and the DNS server. So this is the DHCP server. This is the DNS server. Alright. I need to write this information onto a piece of paper, because in your book, the book will ask you to statically assign that IP address to the server before you actually create your Active Directory or the domain controller. So I wrote this down, and I need to go to the control panel to statically assign this IP address. Click on Network and Shared Center, change adapter setting, right click on the switches or the NIC hall, click on Property, and it's stuck. Here you go. Alright, let me do it again. Okay, there you go. Click on TCP/IP4, click on Properties, and I change from Obtain an IP address automatically, or this is a DHCP, okay, or Dynamic Control Protocol. Now I want to assign it statically, so I click on using the following IP address: 171, no, it's 172, 17, 191, 152, and the subnet mask 255, 255, 255, 240. And the DNS default gateway is 172, 17, 191, 145. Well, for the DNS server, I can use this right here as it says, or I can simply use 8888, which is Google DNS, and it will work fine. Alright, and my computer must run some process on the background. It's a little bit slow. There you go. Alright, close. Okay, now I'm pretty much finished with this. Now, in order to turn off your VM machine, make sure to shut down the operating system. Don't just go and click on the turn off, because there are files that's still open and you might corrupt your Windows Server 2016 or your VM machine. So I always go to Action, Shut Down, and click on Shut Down and let it shut down. There you go. Now when it finishes shutting down, you can click on File and Exit. Notice that it's off already. Okay, again, make sure you use the shutdown instead of turn off. Okay, alright, that's all. Thank you.